You and Astro had been dating for several years. He knew that you were going to die soon, so he wanted to make sure that, well, you lived your life to the fullest. He would often make sure he spent as much time with you as possible. And, well, a lot of the time, he would make it certain that you were happy and comfortable. One day, since you had refused to stay in the hospital, you were just at Garden View. He didn't know you were there yet, but Sprout and Cosmo were keeping an eye on you to make sure nothing bad happened. And then Sprout sends Cosmo off to get, well, Astro. Because they both know that Astro will be irritated if he doesn't get to see you. When Cosmo comes back with Astro, Astro immediately goes to you and hugs you. Then he happily says, "Hey, my little star, how are you?" You smile and say, "I'm doing so much better now that I'm with you. How about you?" Then he happily says, "About the same, love." After a while, and you can tell, well, you're getting worse. Because you can barely stand, let alone walk. So he's just carrying you. He has his blanket wrapped around you, and you notice that he's wearing the black t-shirt and sweatpants you had gotten him a couple of years back. And you smile and say, "Good to see you haven't lost those." And he chuckles and says, "Why would I?" After a while, and you two are in his room, and you're watching a movie. He notices that you just coughed up a little blood. He's concerned, so he says, "Baby, how about we get you back to the hospital, okay? Looks like it's getting worse." And you say, No. I'll be fine, don't worry." Then he says, "Hun, I know you're dying. The doctors told me already. It's not just a little sickness. It's you dying. I'd like to make sure that you at least have some chance of living, even if that means not seeing you for a while." You just hug him without saying anything. Then he asks, "Hun, is that you saying that you're ready to go?" And you nervously nod. After a while, and you two are at the hospital, he had just set you down in your hospital bed, and he notices that blood is leaking from your mouth. So he calls the doctor in, and when they see you, they realize that the condition is so much worse. Then the doctor says, Astro, we'll have to ask you to leave. I don't think it's a good idea for you to be around them right now. They could get you sick too. Then Astro says, well, I'm a toon. I can't exactly get human sicknesses. But if I have to, yeah, I'll head home. And then he gently kisses your forehead and says, hey, baby, I'll come by tomorrow, okay? And if they let me come in to see you, I will. I won't leave, either until you ask me to, or they have me leave, okay? And you nervously say, okay, hon. See you tomorrow. And he smiles and says, see you tomorrow. And he leaves. The next day, when he gets there, the doctor seems nervous about him going in to see you. And the doctor says, they're in surgery right now. You can't see them. Then Astro asks, well, can I go in after the surgery's done? The doctor nods. After a few hours, the surgery was done, and you were likely to live a few more months. And, well, they knew that you wouldn't be able to live any longer than that. So Astro goes in, and since he was already told the news by the doctor, he just goes up to you, hugs you, and quietly says, I love you, baby. And we both know if I could do something about this, I would. And you can feel his tears against your skin. And then you gently hug him back and say, it's not your fault, hon. It's okay. And hey, at least there's a couple more months. He smiles slightly, being glad that at least you found some good in it. The next day, and the doctors had let you go back to Garden View for a bit. One of the nurses had came with you and had to be within 15 feet of you at all times. Astro was a little uncomfortable with that, but he figured it was just to make sure you didn't die. But him, Sprout, and Cosmo had been making a great job at that. And then, after a while, you notice how nervous Astro seems. So you gently kiss him and say, babe, what's wrong? Then he nervously says, I'm just worried about you, hon. I don't want to see you die. Then you say, you've still got a few months. It'll be okay. 2 months later, when you have 1 month left, you can tell he's terrified, knowing that you're gonna die. And then, well, you were kind of confined to the hospital bed because you had lost the ability to walk. So Astro had been just coming in to see you instead of you going to Garden View to see him. And most of the time he was just cuddling with you, singing to you, watching shows with you, or just showing affection. He wanted to make sure that you knew that he loved you before you were gone. One day when he gets in, he knew you were going to die within the week. But he was hopeful that he'd at least get to see you a couple more times before you died. And when he came in, he just goes up to you and cuddles into you and says, "I love you, baby. I hope you know that." You can tell that he's trying to hold back tears, but you gently kiss him and say, "Honey, I know you're trying your hardest to stay strong. I appreciate it, but we both know it's not a good idea to conceal emotions." And then you say, "And I love you too, hon." After a bit, and he had, fallen asleep on you with his head on your chest, right after he had finished crying. And you kiss him one last time before you pass in your sleep. When he wakes up, he can feel that your body's cold. And he knows it's not because of the room temperature, because the room's fairly warm. So he immediately calls the doctor. And then the doctor asks, "Astro, what time did she pass?" And then he immediately panics, realizing it's not just you being asleep and getting the chills, it's death. And then Astro starts crying as he nervously says, I don't know. I just woke up a bit ago and she was like that." And the doctor says, "Well, it can't be helped. She's gone. They'll, well, they were lucky to have you." And after a while, Astro had tried going back to normal, but he couldn't, and he would often seclude himself. But after a while, the tunes had forced him to start coexisting with others again. A lot of the time, he would talk with Goob or Dandy about you, more or less. And a lot of the time, it had ended him crying.